Japan doesn't just do things differently at home. It does them so differently that half the objects inside a Japanese home simply don't exist anywhere else in the world. A machine on the dining table that flows noodles around a circular water channel for you to catch with chopsticks. A personal seal stamp used in place of a signature on every official document. And a silicone-pronged electric device that runs across the scalp every night as routinely as brushing teeth. This is daily life in Japan. Perfectly normal to the people who live there, completely baffling to everyone else. Today we're counting down 21 weird things you'll only find inside Japanese homes. Watch until the end because number 21 is a bathroom device with a backstory so bizarre that once you hear why Japan built it, you'll genuinely wonder why the rest of the world hasn't done the same. Number 1. The Nagashi somen machine. If you sat down for dinner at a Japanese home in summer and found a machine in the middle of the table flowing water around a circular track with noodles floating through it, your first assumption would probably be that it was some kind of decoration. It isn't. The Nagashi somen machine is a countertop dining device that circulates chilled water continuously in a loop. Cooked somen noodles are dropped in and flow around the track, and everyone at the table uses chopsticks to catch them as they pass. The practice originates from traditional outdoor Japanese summer meals where noodles were sent down long bamboo channels, and the home version brings the entire experience indoors. You catch what you can. Anything that completes the full circuit goes back around. The meal becomes an event rather than just food on a plate. Japan took a summer outdoor tradition, built a dedicated countertop machine for it, and made it a normal part of home dining. No other country on Earth has a kitchen appliance specifically for catching your food from flowing water. Number 2, the electric scalp massager. Most Western bedtime routines end with washing your face and brushing your teeth. Japan adds a step that most of the Western world doesn't have a product category for at all. The electric scalp massager is a handheld device with multiple soft silicone prongs that move in specific patterns across the scalp, stimulating blood circulation, relieving tension, and promoting hair and scalp health. It's not used occasionally as a treat. It comes out nightly as a standard part of the evening wind-down routine. A dedicated product category sold in every Japanese home goods store and pharmacy, the prongs move across the head in a way that's immediately noticeable. The tension release is significant. The routine takes 2 to 3 minutes. Japan has an entire product category dedicated to scalp care as a daily ritual. Most Western visitors encountering one for the first time pick it up, look at it from several angles, and genuinely cannot work out what it's for. Number 3, the ear cleaning kit. In Western households, ear cleaning begins and ends with a cotton bud in the bathroom cabinet. In Japan, the process is entirely different, considerably more thorough and significantly more social. Japanese homes have dedicated ear cleaning kits containing the mimikaki, a traditional slender ear pick made from bamboo or plastic, often alongside a small cleaning brush and an LED-lit ear scope for visibility. The practice involves one person lying with their head in another person's lap while their ears are carefully cleaned by a family member or partner. It's an intimate act of care performed regularly across Japanese households. The tools are kept in the bathroom or on the bedside table. The practice crosses generations. It's as routine as having your hair washed. Japan turned ear cleaning into a bonding ritual with its own dedicated set of tools. A Western visitor finding a mimikaki in the bathroom cabinet would have no idea what it was, which is exactly the point. If you're enjoying this so far, go ahead and tap like. It tells YouTube you want more of Japan's clever, everyday innovations. And if you love discovering things you didn't even know existed, hit subscribe so you don't miss the rest of this list. Trust me, the next ones are even cooler. Number 4, the electric foot bath. Most people in the Western world treat a foot soak as something that happens at a spa, or occasionally when feet genuinely hurt. In Japan, it happens at home after dinner on a regular weeknight because Japan has a dedicated appliance for it. The Japanese electric foot bath is a countertop tub with a built-in heating element that maintains water at a consistent temperature, often with vibration or massage rollers at the base. You fill it, switch it on, and sit with your feet submerged. Standard Japanese home wellness product from brands, including Panasonic and Iris Oyama. The temperature holds without needing to top up with hot water. The massage function works while the feet soak. The whole routine takes around 20 minutes. Japan treats foot care as a regular evening ritual, rather than an occasional luxury, and built a specific appliance to match. Most Western visitors would assume it was some kind of medical device before being told it comes out after dinner most evenings. Number 5, the portable cassette gas stove. If a Western visitor opened a Japanese kitchen cupboard and found what looked like a camping burner packed neatly alongside the regular cookware, their first assumption would be that the family does a lot of outdoor cooking. They don't. The cassette gas stove is a compact portable burner running on a replaceable butane cartridge that lives in the kitchen permanently, used at the dining table specifically for hot pot dishes, grilling, and any cooking done tableside during a meal. It's not camping equipment. It's one of the most frequently used items in the Japanese kitchen. Standard product from brands including Iwatani, The cartridge snaps in and out in seconds. The flame is adjustable and consistent. The stove comes out multiple times a week for dinner. Japan cooks at the table regularly enough to need a dedicated appliance for it, and that appliance happens to be completely indistinguishable from outdoor camping gear to anyone who has never encountered Japanese home cooking. Number 6. The Hina doll set. Once a year, Japanese families with daughters transform a section of the living room into what looks like an elaborate museum display. It stays for several weeks, then gets packed into multiple large boxes and stored away until the following year. The Hina Ningyo is a ceremonial doll set displayed for Hinamatsuri, Japan's Dolls Festival on March 3rd. A full set contains 15 or more handcrafted dolls representing the imperial court, arranged on a tiered platform that can reach 5 to 7 levels. A quality set costs several 100,000 yen and is often passed down through generations. The assembly takes hours. The dolls are handled with specific care. The display occupies a significant portion of the room for several weeks. No Western domestic tradition involves anything remotely comparable in scale, cost, or specificity. A Western visitor encountering a Hina set for the first time genuinely has no frame of reference for what they're looking at or why it's there. Number 7. The hanko stamp. In Japan, signing your name on a piece of paper to confirm your identity is not how it works. Japan has been doing it differently for centuries, and the tool for it is sitting in a drawer in every single Japanese home. The hanko is a personal seal stamp that functions as the official legal signature for contracts, bank accounts, official correspondence, and package deliveries. Every Japanese household owns at least 2 versions, a formally registered seal for legal matters and a simpler everyday version for packages and routine documents. Both are pressed in red ink rather than signed with a pen. No hanko means no contract, no delivery confirmation without it, no bank account opened. Japan runs its entire official paperwork system through a small carved stamp rather than a handwritten signature and has done so for over 1,000 years. A Western visitor picking one up from the drawer would have no idea they were holding the Japanese equivalent of a legal identity document. Number 8. The home karaoke machine. In most Western countries, karaoke is something you do at a bar on a Friday night, not something you have installed in the living room. In Japan, those two things are not mutually exclusive at all. Many Japanese homes have dedicated karaoke equipment as a standard living room fixture, ranging from full systems with microphones and a song library to modern Bluetooth-connected setups that link to a phone or TV. Brands including Joy Sound and Daiichi Kosho produce home versions specifically for residential use. Home karaoke is a regular family and social activity rather than a novelty reserved for special occasions. The microphone comes out after dinner. The whole family participates. It's the entertainment for the evening. Japan normalized karaoke as an at-home activity decades before the rest of the world had finished deciding whether it was embarrassing. A Western visitor spotting a dedicated karaoke setup in someone's living room would need a moment to process what they were looking at. Number 9. The home incense set. If you walked into a Japanese living room and noticed a small ceramic burner on a shelf with thin trails of smoke rising from it, you'd be forgiven for thinking you'd accidentally stepped into a place of worship. You haven't. This is Tuesday evening. Japanese homes burn incense in regular living spaces as a daily habit, using a dedicated Hokkairo incense burner and specific Japanese varieties chosen for relaxation and seasonal fragrance. The practice is rooted in Japan's Zen tradition but extends far beyond religious observance into everyday domestic life. Incense varieties change with the season and the burner sits on permanent display. The smell fills the room within minutes. The ritual of lighting it is part of the experience. The burner becomes a standard piece of shelf decor. Japan burns incense the way other cultures light a candle, as a small daily ritual that changes the atmosphere of a room. A Western visitor would smell it before they even understood where it was coming from. Number 10. The Ion Face Steamer. Most Western bathrooms have a shelf of skincare products applied in a specific order. Japan has those too. It also has an additional appliance dedicated entirely to the face that most Western households would mistake for a humidifier. The Ion Face Steamer is a compact countertop device that produces a fine mist of ionized water vapor directed at the face for daily skincare, hydration, and pore treatment. A standard personal care appliance in Japanese bathrooms from brands including Panasonic, used as a normal step in the daily skincare routine rather than an occasional deep treatment. Japan's skincare culture treats regular facial steaming as basic daily maintenance. The mist reaches the skin in seconds. The session takes around 10 minutes. It sits on the bathroom shelf between uses like any other appliance. Japan built a dedicated countertop appliance for daily facial care and integrated it into the bathroom as a normal fixture. A Western visitor would almost certainly assume it was for a respiratory condition before being told otherwise. Number 11. The Hokkairo Heat Pack Collection. If you opened a drawer in a Japanese home and found an organized collection of differently shaped adhesive patches, you would spend a moment trying to work out what they all were before picking one up and realizing it was warm. Hokkairo are disposable self-heating adhesive patches that activate when exposed to air and maintain steady warmth for hours. Japan produces them in specific varieties for different body parts. Flat patches for the lower back, smaller ones for the shoulders, sock insert versions for the feet, slim versions for jacket pockets, and stomach warmers for period cramps. Every Japanese home stocks multiple varieties through winter as a completely standard household purchase. Each patch is shaped, sized, and calibrated for its intended body part. The foot version runs softer than the back patch. The pocket version generates less heat than the muscle patch. A Western visitor going through the drawer would find something that looks like a first aid kit but functions as a personal targeted heating system. Japan made targeted body warmth a drawer full of disposable patches. Nothing about the collection makes sense to a Western visitor until they understand Japanese winters. Number 12. The Katsubushi Shaving Box. A wooden box with a blade set into the top and a small collection drawer underneath looks to any Western visitor like a piece of woodworking equipment. It lives in the kitchen, which adds to the confusion. The Katsubushi shaving box is a dedicated tool for shaving paper-thin flakes from a whole block of dried and smoked bonito fish, producing fresh katsuobushi for use in Japanese cooking. The block is drawn across the blade repeatedly and the flakes fall into the drawer below. Many Japanese households keep one because freshly shaved katsubushi has a significantly richer flavor than pre-packaged versions. And katsubushi is among the most fundamental daily ingredients in Japanese cuisine. The block lasts for months. The flakes are finer than any packaged equivalent. The flavor difference is immediately noticeable. Japan built a dedicated shaving device for a single cooking ingredient. A Western visitor would not identify it as a kitchen tool even after seeing it demonstrated, because nothing in Western cooking requires a wooden box with a blade to produce a daily ingredient. Number 13. The Heated Steam Eye Mask. Most Western bedtime routines don't include applying something warm and gently steaming over the eyes. In Japan, a significant proportion of adults do exactly this every night, using a product so normal it has its own dedicated shelf in every convenience store. Heated steam eye masks produce gentle warmth and moisture around the eyes for relaxation, eye strain relief, and sleep preparation. Disposable versions from Kao's Megurism line self-heat upon opening the packaging and maintain a therapeutic temperature for around 10 minutes. Reusable electric versions hold consistent heat for longer sessions. The warmth releases eye tension immediately. The steam provides noticeable relaxation. The disposable version requires nothing but opening the packet. Japan created an entire product category for nightly eye relaxation that doesn't exist in the same form anywhere else. A Western visitor finding a box of these on a Japanese bedside table would open one, assume it was some kind of medical patch, and need to be shown how. Completely ordinary it actually is. Number 14. The Ozone deodorizer. Most Western households deal with home odors using air freshener sprays, scented candles, or plug-in diffusers. Japan's approach is chemically different and considerably more effective. The ozone deodorizer is a compact electric device that generates controlled amounts of ozone gas to neutralize odors at the molecular level rather than masking them with fragrance. Where an air freshener adds a competing smell to cover the problem, an ozone deodorizer destroys the odor compounds themselves, used across Japanese homes for cooking smells, pet odors, and general room odor. A standard Japanese appliance with no direct Western consumer equivalent. The device runs silently. The results are noticeably different from any spray or candle. The room smells genuinely neutral rather than fragranced over. Japan decided that covering a smell with another smell wasn't actually solving anything, built an appliance that eliminates the odor entirely, and made it a standard home product. A Western visitor would mistake it for a humidifier before understanding what it actually does. Number 15. The Daruma doll. If you notice a round red doll with one painted eye and one blank eye sitting on a shelf in a Japanese home, you're not looking at a broken decoration. You're looking at a goal in progress. The Daruma is a hollow papier-mâché doll modeled after Bodhidharma, the founder of Zen Buddhism, used throughout Japan as a physical goal-setting object. When a goal is committed to, one eye is painted in. When it's achieved, the second eye is completed. Daruma in various sizes sit in Japanese homes as visible reminders of things the household is actively working toward. The blank eye creates a visible commitment. The completed eye marks the achievement. The doll is typically brought to a temple at year-end. Japan has been using a physical object to track personal goals for centuries. A Western visitor picking one up and finding one eye filled in would have no idea they were holding someone's unfinished ambition in their hands. Number 16. The Home Tofu Making Kit. Most Western kitchens have everything needed to make bread or pasta from scratch. What they don't have is equipment for making a daily protein at home, because outside Japan that concept simply doesn't exist as a domestic practice. The Home Tofu Making Kit contains everything needed to produce fresh tofu from soybeans at home, including the pressing mold, cheesecloth lining, and instructions. Sold at Japanese home stores for households that prefer freshly made tofu to the commercially packaged version. Fresh homemade tofu has a noticeably softer texture and considerably more delicate flavor than anything that comes in a sealed tray. The process takes around an hour. The result tastes nothing like commercial tofu. The kit stores compactly in a kitchen drawer. Japan treats tofu as something worth making fresh at home, the same way other cultures make fresh bread. A Western visitor finding this kit in a kitchen cupboard would not identify it as food equipment at all. Number 17, the Furoshiki cloth collection. If you opened a drawer in a Japanese home and found several large square cloths in different sizes folded neatly inside, you would assume they were spare table linens or leftover fabric. They're considerably more versatile than that. Furoshiki are traditional wrapping cloths used throughout Japanese homes for carrying items, wrapping gifts, covering objects, and decorative purposes. Every Japanese household keeps several in different sizes because the same cloth serves multiple functions depending on how it's folded. A single furoshiki can wrap a wine bottle, carry a bento box, or present a gift depending on the technique applied. The practice has been part of daily Japanese life for centuries. No tape, no bag, no disposable packaging, just a different fold. Japan solved carrying, wrapping, and gifting with a single reusable cloth centuries before the rest of the world started worrying about packaging waste. A Western visitor opening that drawer would find a collection of cloths and have no idea what they were all for. Number 18. The Tokonoma alcove. A recessed section of wall containing a single scroll, a small flower arrangement, and nothing else sounds either unfinished or very deliberately restrained. In Japan, it's entirely the second one. The Tokonoma is a built-in display alcove in traditional Japanese rooms, designated specifically for a hanging scroll, a seasonal flower arrangement, and occasionally one carefully chosen object. Nothing else belongs in it. The items change with the seasons and are selected with deliberate care. In traditional Japanese homes, it's considered the most important aesthetic focal point in the room, defined as much by what isn't in it as by what is. The scroll changes when the season turns. The flowers are refreshed regularly. Any third object is chosen with considerable intention. Japan created an architectural feature specifically for restraint and treats the near emptiness inside it as the entire point. A Western visitor would walk straight past it assuming it was an empty shelf before realizing the almost nothing inside it was placed with more thought than anything else in the room. Number 19, the automatic miso soup maker. Most Western kitchens don't have a dedicated countertop appliance for a single dish. Japan does, and the dish it's built for is consumed at most meals, most days by most of the population. The automatic miso soup maker heats water to the precise temperature needed to dissolve miso paste without destroying its active enzymes, disperses it evenly, and produces a serving at the press of a button, from brands including Panasonic's dedicated range. Japan eats miso soup the way other cultures drink coffee in the morning, which is exactly why it has a dedicated machine for it. One press, precise temperature every time, consistent flavor without manual preparation. Japan built a single-purpose appliance for miso soup for the same reason Western kitchens have a toaster. When something is eaten daily without exception, a dedicated machine makes complete sense. A Western visitor would see the appliance, not recognize it, and only understand it after being told what comes out of it. Number 20. The Nengajo card display. Walk into a Japanese home in January and you'll notice a very organized collection of greeting cards displayed in a visible spot. It's not decoration, it's a social record. Nengajo are Japanese New Year greeting cards sent and received by every household in the first days of January. Every Japanese home sends dozens and receives dozens in return, and the received cards are displayed throughout the month. The display acknowledges the household's relationships visually and serves as a prompt to respond to anyone who sent a card unexpectedly. The cards arrive in the first post of the new year, dozens of them. The display comes down at the end of January. Japan turned New Year greetings into a structured social ritual with a specific display format and a monthly deadline. A Western visitor walking in during January would notice the wall of cards immediately and find everything about the practice, the volume, the display, and the formality completely unfamiliar. Number 21. The toilet sound machine. Research in Japan found that many Japanese women were flushing the toilet repeatedly while using it to mask bathroom sounds from people in adjacent rooms. Each unnecessary flush wasted significant amounts of water, multiplied across millions of daily uses. Japan measured this and decided it needed a solution. The Otoheim, named after the Japanese sea goddess, is a wall-mounted device that plays a recorded flush or running water sound at the press of a button, lasting around 25 seconds, providing acoustic privacy without any water being used. Standard in Japanese public restrooms for decades, and increasingly common in private homes. The sound plays, the privacy is preserved, not a single drop of water is wasted. Japan identified a specific social behavior, calculated the environmental cost, and built a dedicated device around it. Nothing like the Otoheime exists anywhere else in the world, because no other country thought to look at this particular problem and decide it was worth engineering a solution for. If you want to see more amazing things Japan is doing better than the rest of the world, then like and subscribe. And make sure to watch the video on your end screen. It's packed with even more weird things you'll only find in Japan.